This is my new 2016 Harley Davidson XL883N Sportster in Denim Black. I bought this from Hell's Canyon Harley Davidson in Lewiston, Idaho. The guys down there are fantastic to work with, and I highly recommend them. Go down there and get yourself a motorcycle from them. Alright, we're going to check out the instrumentation, or the instrument panel, or the instrument cluster. Turn it on, and you got your indicators, your idiot lights here. You got your high beam, neutral, oil. Of course, the high beam goes out. We turn the high beam off, and your left blinker right here. You hit it, and she starts blinking, and you just push it to shut it off. The same with the right blinker. You just push it, and it turns on, and you push it to turn it off. Now, if you have your right blinker on and you don't want it, you want to make a left turn, you actually just hit your left blinker, and it cancels the right one out. Now, I had bikes before that don't do that, and that's a pretty cool feature. I like that. You can just hit it to the next side there. Also, they're self-canceling in the turn. You're making a right turn, and you make a right turn with the right blinker on, then you straighten back up, and it automatically shuts itself off. And also, if you're going in a straight line, let's just say you're on a freeway and you're changing lanes on a freeway, you get in the right lane, and then for some odd reason you forgot to doggone shut your blinker off like an idiot, like I do a lot. Then in 20 seconds the light automatically goes out. Alright, and so up here, let's just go over these switches first. Alright, you got your scrolling switch for your odometer. Look at that. You go up here to your odometer, and you see that says 0. That means that's a tachometer number. Now there's your odometer, 56 miles on the bike. Yeah, I'm scrolling now. 46.1 mile on trip A, 46.1 mile on trip B, and 12:34 is the time. And then this is, like I say, it tells you what gear you're in and your actual RPM. So I thought that was really a cool feature. I don't have it on any of my other bikes, but I like that feature. And of course, you got your high beam headlight here, and your low beam headlight here, and your low beam flash. If you want to flash the high beam, you rock it like that. And of course, let's see if I can get a shot of that. You just rock it like this. There you go. I'm pushing that button. You can see the headlight flashing. A lot of European bikes already come with that, but my other Harley Davidson 2005 model I had didn't have that particular feature. And then of course you got your horn right here. And then on this side you've got your four-way flashers. As you can see, the four-way flashers are going. They're kind of bright. I really like how bright they are. And then on the rear, of course, they're bright back here also. And then you just shut them off. You just hit them to shut them off. And of course, that's your starter button. And you hit that starter, and this is your kill switch, off. Now watch the fuel pump come back on. There you go. So it's pretty cool. It's got that scrolling feature I was riding it the other day, and I was playing with that. Kind of cool. All right, we'll shut that off. All right, so we'll go ahead and shut that off, and talk about the mirrors. Now, these are sporty mirrors. A lot of guys don't like the mirrors because they're too small. They see more of the shoulder than they do the road behind you, but I like them. You just get used to them. You make a left-hand curve, you look in the left mirror, and you can see a lot of stuff back there. Of course, you're going to look in the right mirror, you ain't going to see anything. Make a right turn, you look in the right mirror, you look behind you. You can see everything back there. Going in a straight line, you're going to be able to see behind you in one mirror or the other. One mirror you're going to see a lot of shoulder, the other one you're going to be able to see something back there. So I like the short mirrors, so I'm going to keep them. All right, let's talk about the new suspension that Harley's put on these new Sportsters. They're still the 39 millimeter forks, and they still have 3.5 inches of wheel travel when you hit a bump. And they're new cartridge style fork technology, which includes triple rated progressive springs inside there with a calibrated piston and valve stacking. And really all it means is it's more precise dampening when you hit harder bumps in the road. And I found it, I took it for a ride for 40 miles yesterday, and yeah, I noticed it. You know, it's a nice ride in the front end for sure. All right, we'll talk a little bit about the front wheel and the caliper here. New for 2016 is a floating disc caliper. Last year and previous year model, they were all solid. This is not ABS. You can get them with ABS now, and they're $800 for ABS brakes. That's not ABS there. And also we got the anodized aluminum wheels, and they machine these all the way around each spoke around the wheel, and they don't reflectorize, but sometimes when the sun hits them they go around. They look pretty cool. And the front wheel is 4 pounds lighter than the previous model years. Okay, let's talk about the Jiffy stand. When you put the Jiffy stand down, it's locked in position right here in this spot. Yeah, I don't suppose you can see that, but it prevents the kickstand from going up. For instance, if you're on a slight downhill incline and your bike's idling, your bike's not going to roll forward and your kickstand flip up and your bike fall over. I've had that happen in the past, you know, learn from experience, I guess. Bike idling out in the drive on a downward incline, and next thing you know, you hear a big old crash over there and your bike fell over because the kickstand went up. That's what I like about Harley. That was a good design for those guys. And as we go back to the back of the bike here, we notice we have a charging plug that they put on there. That's pretty cool. Usually I got 4 bikes, yeah, actually 5 bikes, and they all have this. I had to actually put them on where Harley Davidson come out, smart thing, and put a charging plug on for you, so you don't have to deal with it. They're maintenance-free batteries too, from what I understand, and that's really a good deal too. Now we're just going to take the seat off and look at the spanner wrench underneath there. You got this little thumb screw here you take off, and then you just push this seat forward and pop it right off. I'm gonna do that real quick. Sometimes it can be a little pain, but okay, I got it popped off. You just pull it off, throw it on the ground there. It's got a little tab on the front here that goes up underneath the gooseneck, right here by the tank. It just slides underneath there. And then you got your spanner wrench right here. That's to do the shocks. The spanner wrench fits in the holes on the shocks, and you unloosen it and loosen the next one or tighten the next one to go up or down depending upon your weight and how much of a soft ride you want. But the spanner wrench is right there. You just lift this little piece up, and the spanner wrench just slides right out. And you just pop it back in, and then you just put the seat back on. The seat goes on, like I say, the little tab goes right in there, in that spot, and then you got the little keyhole right there. You can see that keyhole thing goes right in this spot right here on the back of the seat right here, as you can see. And then we'll just snap that baby back on there real quick, see what happens. Well, I ain't gotta do it, but you know what I mean. Yeah, all right, she goes right on there. And then you just put that little thumb screw back in there, and you're all done with the seat. All right, well, you got to screw it down, but I didn't. Well, okay, let's talk about the gas tank. 3.3 gallons, probably good for 150 miles, which is fine with me because, you know, at 100 miles, I'm ready to get off and go to the convenience store and get a pop, just hang out for a little bit, talk with the guys, and, you know, I'm not a long-distance rider. Never was. 250-mile day is good for me. Yeah. Anyway, the gas cap is a screw type of gas tap. Have to screw it all the way off and then lift it out, fill it up, and then screw it back in. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about the rear suspension. Mostly the shocks here. The new emulsion technology of oil and air mix in the chambers. The shocks are nitrogen charged. They have 36 millimeter pistons, bathed in a high grade of oil. And now they have adjustable 50 millimeter preload shock adjusting, as you can see, and the spanner is tucked away under the solo seat, and all this is designed to soften up the dampening enough to take the edge off bumps and thumps that you might find in the urban jungle. Yeah, you just take your spanner and just loosen that top one, and you want more stiffer ride, you go down. If you want less of a stiffer ride, you go up with that thing, then relock it. And I did, like I say, took it for a 46-mile ride yesterday, and yeah, you can definitely the difference between my 2005 smoother ride. I mean, it's not the world of difference, but it's a definite improvement for sure. And we'll talk about the license plate a little bit. I'm not a fan of the side license plate, so I ordered a license plate that's going to fit right up in here and come down here, and my license plate's going to be right here with a light on that shines down on it. And down here on the belt cover, chain guard, whatever you want to call it, they got holes drilled in them. Shotgun, they call it. I call it just bullet holes. They do that to make the bike lighter. By the way, the bike is pretty heavy, weighs 565 pounds, but believe me, it really is balanced. My wife sat on it the other day, and she just couldn't believe how balanced it was. New for this year, Harley Davidson, new for this year, Harley put black exhaust pipes on. Prior years, 15, 14, 13, all had chrome exhaust. This year they wanted to black it out a little more, so they put the black exhaust, and of course they got your typical bullet holes right here, and of course in the front too. The part number for the 2016 exhaust pipes is not the same as the part number for the 2015 and back. It's a whole new different number, and I'm thinking that if you wanted to take these pipes, order some pipes from a 16 and put them on a 15, I don't think it's going to bolt up properly. I talked to a couple of the shop parts guys, and they seem to have the same idea about it, but we were not sure. Okay, let's talk about the foot pegs. Here we got the early warning scraping the pavement bolt there. If you're turning real sharp or taking corners really fast, right-hand corner in this particular situation, this thing's going to scrape. You can only go down 27 degrees before you hit this pipe on the right side here, and you can go down 28 degrees on the other side before you start scraping over there. And these just let you know in advance, you know, you're hitting the pavement. I'm a pretty conservative guy. I don't like to go fast in the curves. It says 60 mile an hour, I'll do 60, 65, maybe even 70 sometimes, but I'm pretty conservative. And this year's model, of course, come out with a round air cleaner, where not the traditional Harley Davidson oblong ones. And on the gas tank now we've got the Harley Davidson emblem with the eagle on the tank, where they didn't have the eagle on the tank before. And we got the new front fork brace. It's got the bullet holes in it also, whereas the 2015s and older didn't have the drilled out bullet holes, just to make the bike supposedly lighter. And we'll talk a little bit about the front wheel. The front wheel is 4 pounds lighter than last year's model and the previous years, and it's all what are anodized or powder coated, but they machine these out. These are all machined out, and they go all the way around the bike. And of course, when you're riding down the road on them, they're going round and round, and it does kind of look cool.